Hello. So I have been getting a lot of questions lately about speed of doing lashes. So many people are so concerned about their speed when they first begin to do lashes and when they first learn. And let me tell you, this is one of the last things that I say to worry about when you're first starting out to do lashes. When you're learning and beginning, whether it's classic or volume, it is not your priority to worry about speed because you need to focus on doing the technique correctly, making sure you're isolating the lashes no matter how long it takes you. My first full set, it took me like 4 or 5 hours, maybe longer. Like, I'm telling you, because you need to focus on your technique, your application, making sure that it is up to the industry standard. Your work on your client is up to that standard in the industry when they walk out the door. So as long as you do this, however long it takes you, day after day, every client you do, you're going to get better. In time, speed will come. So yeah, that is one of, like, don't sacrifice the quality of your work because you want to hurry up and get done, because that's not the answer. That's not, I mean, I have a lot of years of experience, so like I wouldn't even recommend saying that, like full set, like I have it written down, like the timing that you would want, like, you know, after you've gained experience and you're like, okay, I'm getting to be a pro at this. I'm getting good. I'm doing lashes good. You know, some years go by, you're getting faster and faster. It could take months. Everybody's different. The more you do it, the more clients you do, the more experience you're going to gain. So, and then you'll gain more speed over time. As long as you're doing the quality over and over and over again, it's like muscle memory. Lashes, it's like creating a habit. You're going to get faster. So a full set, a classic full set, I would say it would be like about 2 hours. Like a standard time is about 2 hours. Now, if somebody's doing a full set, volume, about 2 hours as well, with experience, or 2.5. It could be 2.5 for some people. You know, that's acceptable. Even fast lash technicians, if somebody has, even for me, like it might take me, I can spend 2 hours on somebody easily. 2.5. If they have a lot of lashes, yes. So you got to kind of judge your pricing on that too. Maybe I'm going to do another video on pricing. But yeah, for a full set for classic, about 2 hours, volume 2.5, 2 to 2.5. Now, I can do a full set. I've just now recently been able to do this, okay? Within probably the last week or two. 1 hour. And I'm like, oh my God, because that is like, like in the lash world, it's like, wow, I can do a full set in an hour. Like, even if that's a full set, if somebody comes in and they want like an extremely full set, if they have an abundant amount of natural lashes, then I'm going to spend an hour and a half. I mean, that's going to be filling all of them. I mean, I would usually, before I got faster and faster and faster as my experience and technique it went on, like it took me years to get here, but it would still, I could spend really fast, could spend 2 hours easily, like still on someone, because some people have so many natural lashes. So yeah, an hour, if somebody's doing them in an hour, it's either they're just rushing and they're not doing it correctly. They're not isolating them. They're just maybe using really thick, like a lot of them. You can put a lot of lashes, like a volume fan with a lot, depending on the dimension. But like somebody might just be picking up clusters or just doing like so many, 30 lashes. Who knows what people do? 30 lashes on like one lash and like making it really thick and black so that they can get done really fast. So they're either doing that or they have a lot of experience and they've been doing it, the memory, over and over, daily, day after day. So many clients, after years go on, you just gain speed. So that's something for clients to look at if you're a client watching this, and it's something for, you know, lash techs. Just don't worry about it. It will come. Now, a fill, I would say a standard fill about an hour, 45 minutes to an hour. If you're fast, like 30, some people can do it 30 minutes. I can do a fill in 30 to 40 minutes. If it's like a standard, if somebody lost extra or shed extra, it's going to take me an hour. But since my speed has gotten faster, I'm going to raise my prices a bit because I'm fast, because, you know, that's convenient. If somebody wants to come get a full set on their lunch break now, they can. And they're going to walk out with lashes like extremely full, a full set. And that's something that lash techs y'all need to think about as well. Like when you start getting that speed, not from just rushing and not just doing all the work, but when you truly do it and gain experience over time, you are going to have to think about, you know what, you have to know your worth. Like, I'm ready to raise my prices a little bit, you know? So I'll make another video on that too. Look, I have topics go on. So speed will come, be patient. So these are some of the things that I've noticed that I can give advice to increase your speed. So what I do is I isolate, go through and find a lash first, and then I also lash from the forehead. You can lash from the forehead, or on a towel to the side. People lash from their hand, but I literally, no matter if you're lashing from your hand, the side, their forehead, I isolate and find it first, and then I will grab the lash, put it in the glue, and then go do it. Put it on there. Some people, in a lot of ways, people are taught, which I teach both ways, but you kind of have to like figure out which is best for you. So most people are taught though, like isolating, like, or going through, picking up the lash and then going through and finding it, and then by the time you find it, the glue either has dried, or like you put it on and it's almost dry and the bond isn't as great, or you don't think about this, but trying to put it on there and the glue drying, and then you're like, oh, I gotta get more. Doing that over and over again, those seconds add up. So if you just, my opinion, isolate first, go get your lash, you already know where you're going. It's not always like that. I don't always do it like that. I mean, that's what I mostly do, but once I have like a palette going on and there's like a lot of lashes on their natural lashes and I'm going through in the between and filling more, like, then, you know, they'll spread out a little bit and like it's easier to find them. But, you know, when you're first starting, I would definitely recommend isolating first. So that will definitely increase it. Because looking back and forth too much, that too, looking back and forth, you don't even think about that. Looking back and forth, oh my God, that's going to cost me time. Believe me, it does, because I've been through it, and it's the silliest things that not waste time, because you're with your client, you're coming back, but you don't even know you're like, could be doing it faster, because it's the silliest things that make you slow. It's crazy. Okay, so iPads, anyways, another thing is, I teach people to use iPads. Some people just use tape. I'm not saying that it's bad to just use tape. I'm just saying that with my tip, to be faster, iPads do actually, in my opinion, make you faster, because, you know, it's a thick protective barrier right here that if you just use tape, you know, like whenever you're like, if you want to isolate something, like what I do is I'll isolate and I'm down on there, and sometimes you're up in their business, you know, you're down like right here and you have that tweezer down. That's a protective, thick, comfortable barrier for your client, where you can hold your tweezer down pressure a little bit and you don't have to just like be worried about moving back and forth. You can go like this, grab it, and go back down. When you have tape, you can't do that, because the tape is so thin that they're going to feel it on their skin. You'll be piercing them. So that also, like, you know, over time, like, it's going to increase your speed, because you don't even realize that even just an iPad, having an iPad, a protective barrier. And also, you can, when you grab your glue, you can use your iPad to kind of like brush off the excess if you have any excess. You could do that with tape too, but iPad just creates like a bigger like surface area for you to work with. So I feel like when you have that, you're not even thinking about it, and it's like you just can put your little glue dot over here instead of having to worry about this little space of the tape. That right there makes you faster too. Seconds add up. Also, okay, here's a big one. Like, I feel like just over time, as you do lashes, like, you're going to gain, like, of course you'll gain confidence. Like, with speed and with experience, you're going to gain confidence. But with lash techs and with what I see with my students, that even the ones that I've taught, I've certified, and they've, you know, gone on, and like, I always tell my students they can text me anytime, I'll help them. What the biggest things I'm seeing with them is that they just overthink it too much. You know, like, over time you won't overthink it as much, but you have to make yourself just say, okay, I'm not going to second guess it, because what will happen is, like, you'll get the lash and you're going to go through and you find the perfect one to put it on, and then you kind of second guess yourself and you don't even realize you're holding it for an extra second, and then by the time you put it on there, you're not just like letting it flow. But when it goes on there, you overthink, and then you're like, ugh, I placed that wrong, and then you got to take it off, and then you got to go back and do it again, or even grab another one because you put too much glue. So just letting it flow and just not overthinking Just go back and forth. You're gonna, over time, you'll see this if you're a beginner. If you're not a beginner and you've been doing it a while, you probably already see it. Over time, you kind of get in this muscle memory, and you just become faster, and then time will go by and you get faster, and then you're like, wow, you'll be talking to like all your friends that do lashes. You'll be like, oh my god, I did my full set today in an hour and a half. Like, you know, you just get so excited about how fast. And that's why speed is so it's such a big topic with lashes. But that's why I want to make sure that people need to understand, clients searching for a lash tech and lash techs, everybody needs to understand speed. Yes, it's precious, it's great, it's convenient. You want a lash tech that's fast, but it's not just about the speed. You want one that's fast, but that is doing quality work. So, yes. Let me see what else I have to say. Okay. Oh, also, okay, a few other things. See, yeah, I was saying, like, you know, people second guess too long, then they lose the bond. That's what I was just talking about. Okay, so also, oh, here's another one too. So going back and forth, I'm a big fan of this. Like, what I do is you know, here's this eye. Okay, isolate, put the lash on. Here I go again. Then I go to this eye. I go back and forth between eyes. You don't have to do that. Some people like to lash one eye at a time. It's preference. But reason why is because if you're going on this, say you're going on just one eye at a time, you could do this. You could do one eye and maybe put one on the outside corner, then put one on the inside, then put one in the middle, then put one on the outside, or go back and forth, because the glue dries instantly. It's drying so quick. But if you're putting a lash on the outside and then you're going to the next lash right by it, even if you're isolating it and you set it there, especially if you get fast and you're putting them on there, because that's how I do. I'm putting it on, then I'll put the other one on. If you're putting them side by side, it's drying quick, but you might move on to the next lash before that one dried like fully, even if it's just a millisecond like later, and then it's kind of clumped together. It probably will be easy to kind of separate, but maybe it won't. It's just, in my opinion, it makes you slower almost to slash consecutive, like one after another, because then you're gonna have to go back later and waste some minutes on trying to separate them when you could have already prevented it. So also, if, in my opinion too, if you are lashing one eye and then you lash the other eye, that's cool. I love before after pictures like that. I think it's amazing. But I've had clients, this will happen to you, this will happen probably. If you're gonna be a lash tech for like your job, you're gonna love it and want to keep doing it. And so this will happen. Your client, somebody's gonna have to get up and leave. I have a lot of clients that are on call. They might have to get up and just go. I've had that happen to me before. You don't want them to leave with one eye done and one eye not done. So, I mean, you'll have clients that don't care. I mean, whatever. Do if you want to. But that's just my opinion. Just going back and forth is easier for isolation purposes and just in case your client has to leave early. So, like an emergency. Okay. So, also another one, taping back the extensions. I'm going to do another video on this whenever I have my next client or a model. Like, I'm going to do a video so I can just let it zoom in and let y'all see like me doing work. But taping back the lashes with an iPad, like when you're laying down and your eyes are closed and you get the iPad or some tape and tape it back a little bit after you put some extensions on there, it will like show you like a lot, it'll expose like a lot of natural lashes that are underneath or, you know, kind of in between that are hard to see. So it helps them fall out, so it's easier to put more on. So I recommend using an iPad. Also, I like using tape, but if you get really, really sticky lash tape, you know, lash technicians, y'all know there's some tape that's sticky. Sometimes I order the same tape and it'll come so sticky, and then the next time I order the same exact brand, it comes not as sticky. So, you know, sometimes it's so sticky. I would not recommend putting like really sticky tape doing that, because then whenever you take it off, if you don't put the tweezers like holding it at the same time you're pulling the iPad, it might pull some of the extensions off that you already applied. So iPads they won't stick as much. So, but that makes you faster, because, you know, you're not having to go through and isolate like perfectly. You know, every time you isolate should be perfect, but you know, it's like you're not having to go through it. Like basically does it for you. I'll show you on a video. And then Another thing, probably the last thing, there's probably more, but these are just the big topics I wanted to say. But okay, so like I can talk with my clients. There's some I can talk with, and there's some that I can't. There's some, not that I can't necessarily, but I'll tell them, I'll be like, listen, whenever I'm doing your lashes, like, and you're talking to me, your cheeks are moving a lot. So don't talk to me as much. I want to talk to you, but, or don't talk with such expressions. Talk because your cheeks, because that slows you down. You don't realize it. It slows you down. So if you have a client, I can talk to my clients. Usually, it depends on you too. Like if it stresses you out to talk to them as much. I've had some of my friend lash clients, they're like, listen, talking, I love you, but I'm going to do such a better job if I don't talk. I'm so much better. I'm faster. I can think better. So if you are a person that can't talk as well, or not as well, but if it distracts you more, or your quality of your work, or like it slows you down talking to your client, just politely tell them, listen, they'll understand. They want their lashes to look good. But say, listen, I do better when I'm not talking. I love you so much. I'm not trying to bully you. Or whatever you need to say to them. Just tell them. Make them feel comfortable. And then they can have a lash nap. It's like night, lash nap. They're not going to complain. That's their time. That's their self-care, me time. So, I mean, now I talk to my clients. But you know, over time, sometimes at the beginning I couldn't. I had to be like, oh my God, I can't focus. I love you. Shh. Like we would just laugh. So, but yeah, talking to your clients will slow you down a lot of the time. It depends on your experience and your personality and all that, of course. But you know, that's another tip. So, yeah. So, yep, that was my topic today, speed on lashes. If any of you watching this are girls that have taken my classes, if y'all have any more questions, you can comment or message me. But, yeah, I will see y'all tomorrow. Have a good night.